Hey everybody, what's going on? Nito17 here, and today guys, I got a good video for you. So I posted a video the other day asking you guys what kind of video should I make, or what kind of video would you guys want me to make. So I came up with that on Twitter, just posted it out there and said, hey guys, what do you want? And you guys posted with a few different things, but Rocktillery, shout out to my boy, he actually posted a fun topic that I think you guys might actually enjoy. The thing about it is, I've kind of wanted to avoid doing this type of thing, but this is more of a personal thing, so I guess it's not as bad as everyone posting, oh, my top this, or my top that. I'm just like, I don't like to do those type of videos, but this is about me. So I figured, you guys kind of asked about it or have asked before, so fuck it, why not do it, right? So yeah, basically, so guys, I'm not in the least bit savvy when it comes to creating really cool slideshows and animations and things like that. I'm gonna get better with it whenever I have the time. I'm gonna get that Adobe Premiere or whatever, and I'm just gonna play with that shit for hours on end and really learn how to do some of this stuff really cool. So in advance, I apologize if the presentation is not up to par with a lot of other people's stuff, but hey, I don't claim to be a genius at this, and I'm only gonna get better as we go. So here it is, point blank, my favorite Pokemon titles. If you guys already aren't, please follow me on Twitter. I'm very active on there every single day because I don't have the time to be on YouTube, and that's the best way to see what I'm talking about, see all the news and things like that. So once again, guys, I really appreciate all your support. Now let's jump right into it. So it's not a top 5, it's not a top 10. The sole topic of this was just my favorite Pokemon games in order. Well, not all of the games that are out are my favorite. I've enjoyed all of them, but I haven't gotten that special thing out of all the games. So I thought carefully. I'm like, what games here can I relate with, or at least give you guys a story to talk about? So here's what we got. I'm going to start with with the lowest to the best. So let's look at number 6. So there's 6 total. I'm starting with Pokemon Sun and Moon. Now, Pokemon Sun and Moon was a game for me that was just a relieving thing to me to have a full-on adult looking avatar. Like the smallest things, right? I love the HP bars at the time. I loved the UI of Pokemon Sun and Moon, and I loved Solgaleo. Fell in love with Solgaleo. And just a lot of the newer Pokemon, like the Alolan forms, were really cool. I loved the Poke Ride, Charizard, riding around on Charizard and Tauros, and all the different Pokemon that you can ride. And probably what I most enjoyed about Sun and Moon was, it's hard to pinpoint. The cutscenes were really good, and I really enjoyed the story of Nebby becoming this giant legendary and protector, because we haven't had a legendary with any evolved forms. And I really enjoyed the lore behind Pokemon Sun and Moon. Yes, it was handholdy. Yes, it was a bit overboard with the cutscenes, but I thought they did a remarkable job on the 3DS for what they were able to put out. And I really liked Sun and Moon. I think I put in 90 hours on Sun and Moon, and the biggest reason why it's my favorite game, or why it made this cut, one of my favorite games, I completed the Pokédex for the first time in Sun and Moon. The first time completing the Pokédex, I did it in Sun and Moon. So I'm doing all my shiny hunting on there. I've come up short trying to find a Nidoran. You guys know that story. But that's pretty much why Sun and Moon made the cut. For those reasons there, I really enjoyed the games. And me and my best friend played the hell out of them together. So it was really cool. Now, up next, I got my team. So these were the mons that I actually used in the game that, my original playthrough. I started with, I was about to say Ruffled Rowlet. I'm watching too many YouTube videos. I started off with Rowlet. I really loved Decidueye. Unfortunately, I couldn't get a shiny, but I really loved Decidueye. Como was just fucking awesome. Who doesn't love Como? If you don't like Como, you don't like dragons. I don't know. He's also the first dragon fighting type. Well, someone's going to come in with a correction somewhere. I think it's the first dragon fighting type. Still quad weak to fairy, but most of them are. but I love Como the most. Electivire. I had been wanting to use Electivire in my team for the longest time, and I finally got the opportunity to do it. It took me forever to get a fucking Electabuzz, and then obviously on the last island you get the Electrizer to evolve him into Electivire. So, yeah. So as you can see, I had some pretty late mons. I had a team of three really. Ultimately, I used some other mons along the way, but these were my primaries I beat the Elite Four with. Alolan Muck is fucking cool. I love the Alolan Muck. Very strong. The dark typing helped him out a lot. I love the Alolan Muck. Alolan Ninetales, just gorgeous Pokemon, like Fairy Ice thing owned. I just loved everything about Alolan Ninetales. And then I used Scizor. Scyther is one of my favorite Pokemon. I didn't want to use Scyther because I had just used him in a previous game I played. I forget which one it was. So I evolved him into Scizor because I hadn't used Scizor since Gen 2. So that was my squad. This team wasn't real special to me. It didn't connect with me like some of my other teams have. I'll get to later on, but it was a good squad. Next up, we got number 5, Pokemon X and Y. So Pokemon X and Y was a game I fell in love with. Like, I connected with Pokemon X and Y so hard. I was in my dormitory when I lived on base. I had shit else to do. X and Y came out, and I was just banged it home, dude. I played this game religiously. I did the fucking shit out of Pokemon and me, super training, like all that stuff. Like, I love so many different things. I love the Sky Battles. The Sky Battles are one of the biggest things I miss. I loved Charizard Y. I loved the introduction of Mega Evolution. Like, there are so many things I loved about X and Y. So many things. And the legendaries were cool. I loved the lore behind this game as well. The AZ concept, like what would it be like if people lived forever? In this case, AZ was 3,000 years old. Spoiler alert. And I really, 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 really loved X and Y. I thought they were fun games. Now, what I didn't like, lack of post game. I actually thought there were too many Pokemon in this game. And I know that's crazy, but the Horde battles, also, I liked the concept, but it didn't run for shit. Like, it just ran so bad. And I hated a lot of the different, well, I shouldn't say hate, but I didn't like too many of the routes in X and Y. I thought they were really bland. And I thought it matched too much with Unova's routes, or Pokemon Platinum's routes. They're very similar. I didn't really like traveling throughout the game. I did like the Mirage Cave. Is that what it's called? Like the mirrors and stuff. That was pretty cool. I can't think of all the areas right now. The gyms were pretty cool. I love the Psychic Gym. How you like walked on those colored rails. That was pretty cool. But X and Y made number 5 because there's 4 other ones that I just had a better connection with. My squad. This was one of my teams I connected with probably the most in a really, really long time. Because of Pokemon and me, probably. I fucking petted the shit out of my Pokemon. I fed them candies and did all this stuff. So I started off with Froakie. Got Charmander, obviously. How can you not love Charizard Y? Look at that fucking thing. I love Charizard Y. He looks like a legitimate dragon. Charizard X to me was just too much. I don't know what it is, but it was just too much. Then I went with Lucario because I love Mega Lucario. Haxorus, I never used one. I picked up Axew. You get him like level 13 really early on. Raichu is one of my personal favorites. And to this day, Mega Pidgeot. Or Pidgeot and Mega Pidgeot. I loved Mega Pidgeot. Like, I still have him on my game to this day. I have him on my Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon game. He's level 90. So he's grown up quite a bit. He's also the first Pokemon I've legitimately raised to level 90 with no rare candies. So I bonded with this team probably the most out of any team on here because of the Pokemon Mia feature, the super training feature, the fact you can feed him candies and all that stuff. It was really cool. Next up, number 4, we got Pokemon White 2 and Black 2. Now, these games were almost perfect to me. Black and White 1 were hard for me to play. Like, they were hard, but annoyingly hard. Like, a lot of the new Pokemon that were in that game didn't evolve until like level fucking 50. It was just too much of a grind for me. I didn't like a lot of the new Pokemon in that game. I did love Gigalith. I loved Zekrom. I loved I can't think off the top of my head right now. What's the thing? Sigilyph. I like Sigilyph a lot. Love Braviary. Braviary by far is my favorite. What is it? Gen 5 Pokemon by far. Braviary is so fucking cool, and actually named America in my playthrough. But Black and White were cool to me because they introduced so many different Pokemon. They introduced, Growlithe, and like just they mixed the mons together and actually made it playable. So I loved the animated art style. It's probably my favorite game art style to date. Like just the combination of like the way they animated the sprites with the game and made them lively. I don't know what it is about it, but I just loved the gameplay of Black and White 2. From an exploration standpoint, I thought it was cool having the Black Forest and the White Forest. I thought it was cool. It was a cool concept having Pokemon fusion. It's pretty out there, like Dragon Ball Z type shit, but at the end of the day, it turned out to be a pretty cool concept. I wasn't a fan of Ghetsis, though. Like, I don't enjoy Ghetsis at all. I think he's lame-o. I think he's too much of a psychopath to the point where it's not enjoyable. So, Black and White 2, the gameplay, though, I loved it. Like, I love the gameplay of Black and White 2. And just having that bigger Pokedex made a huge difference. So, moving on to a team that I had. Pretty dope team. So, Drapion was the first shiny I ever ran into in the wild. Like, randomly. So, I'm like, shit, I gotta use this thing. It turns out Drapion's a really good Pokemon. So, I had Umbreon. I started it with Snivy. Snivy's actually my second favorite grass starter. So, I started with Snivy. I ended up picking up Growlithe as my second mon, I think. And then I picked up Eevee in the... what's the city, the big city, you go in the sewer. Braviary, you can only catch him on like Monday or Friday or something, or Monday. In the desert area, I went and picked him up, and then I used Starmie, and I had a dope team. Like, that team was good too. I really enjoyed that squad. Number 3, Pokemon Red and Blue. So, yes, I'm 27 years old, okay? I started with Pokemon Blue. That was my first game. My stepbrother, on the other hand, got Pokemon Yellow. Pissing me off. But Pokemon Blue was my first. It's what got me into Pokemon. So it had to be on the list. And just running into Mewtwo that first time, being the Elite Four, going like playing through the Safari Zone, like there's just so many. Like I think the simplicity of this game at that point in time in my life, like playing video games, just made it so much fun. It wasn't hard. It wasn't anything I really had to think about. And literally just caught Pokemon and beat gyms and explored. And then when I was done. And I moved on. And I just think a lot of people like these games for the simplicity during that time in their life, like when they were playing games. So, again, in hindsight, Pokemon Red and Blue are not really that good. Like, they're just not good games. Like, they are so cut and dry. But given the time that they were made, they were really, really good. Comparing them to other games now is stupid because technology is different and all that stuff. But they hold a special place in my heart, and a lot of my favorite Pokemon, design-wise, are from Gen 1. So, you guys already know where I'm going with this. Boom! Look at that boy! Look at that boy! Nidoking. No, that was not my imitation of Nidoking's cry. So, this was my team. These are probably, aside from Venusaur, five of my favorite Pokemon, like ever. And they all come from Gen 1. And Nidoking obviously is my number one. Look at him. Look at him. Just ready to fuck you up, dude. Oh my god, I love Nidoking so much. Then I got his wifey over there behind him, Nidoqueen. I actually love Nidoqueen a lot too. Zapdos, Dragonite, and Vaporeon. Vaporeon is so cool. Like, Vaporeon's my favorite evolution next to Umbreon. Umbreon's my favorite, but Vaporeon's number 2. Dragonite, like, how can you not love Dragonite? Dragonite is dope as fuck. He has an adorable ass cry. Like, he's just a cool Pokemon. And then Zapdos, obviously, Screaming Electric Bird will fry you like a fucking French fry. So, I love Zapdos. Loved everything about Zapdos. And the legendary birds in general. Like, the legend Articuno, Moltres, and Zapdos are my favorite trio of legendaries. Period. Hands down. Bar none. That's why when Pokemon Switch comes out, these games can do so much with them. And I hope they're in the games. Number 2, we're getting there. Heart Gold and Soul Silver. So I think you guys saw this coming. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the original Gold and Silver. Obviously, they're basically the same game, updated graphics, but the Pokewalker was so much fun. Being able to catch certain Pokemon on that thing and transfer them over and actually feel like you're walking with a Pokemon was so cool. And then on top of it, obviously, the Gen 4 graphic updates and things like that. Pokemon following you, obviously a very big one. So I don't really have to run through the mill too much with Gen 2, but the graphical update made it just so much better. Traveling to Kanto, seeing all the differences that have taken place and just the variety of Pokemon you can catch in this game. Like, and the way that you go about catching them is very creative. Just this, by far, probably the most replayable Pokemon game out there. There's so much content, like so much content. And the next game I'm about to bring up, that's my favorite of all time to me, is also the same way, but in a different way. So I loved Gold and Silver. I started with, well, I'll get into my team here in a second. Started with my boy Chikorita. I love Chikorita. I saw a post on Twitter the other day, people hating Chikorita. I don't give a fuck. Cyndaquil's awesome. Totodile's cute and awesome too. I love fucking Meganium. Eat a dick. Like, I don't care. Those people out there who hate Chikorita, eat a dick. I really don't care. Heracross was my second Pokemon I picked up, and I actually did end up copping for Heart Gold and Soul Silver a shiny Noctowl. Loved one in the anime, and I always wanted one. And I don't remember how I got it though. I think somebody traded it to me. I don't know. I didn't encounter it though, so I'm pretty sure someone traded it to me. I used to go to these trading card things to trade Pokemon cards, and I'm pretty sure someone traded that shit to me. Houndoom, my favorite Johto Pokemon, period. Like, I love Houndoom. He's so fucking cool. Tyranitar, obviously, like the best pseudo of all time. And then I had Espeon as well. I didn't use Umbreon because I had used Umbreon in a different playthrough for Black and White 2. Ironically enough, I didn't use Umbreon or Espeon in the original games. It was, at that time, playing Gen 2, trying to evolve them at night and shit. I just didn't understand the concept. So, but I loved this team too. This team was really fun. Heracross is awesome. So, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, right there. Number 1. So, I'm going to take a 10-second pause. I want you guys to think, what game do you think number 1 is? And then in the comments, I want you to tell me which game you thought it was. Okay? So, I'm going to count to 10, and you guys think it through. Alright, hope you guys got something. Number 1 for me, by far, Pokemon Platinum. I might have caught some people off guard with that, but Pokemon Platinum to me was everything I wanted Diamond and Pearl to be, because Diamond and Pearl had the biggest potential of any Pokemon game, I think, and kind of fell. Platinum just picked that bitch right back up and brought it up, and there's nothing that I don't like about Pokemon Platinum. I loved the 4th legendaries like Magmortar, Electivire, Gliscor, Yanmega, Togekiss, like all those new stage evolutions, Rhyperior. And this was the first team before X and Y that I actually really communicated with and loved. Like, I loved my team in this game so much. And they were all like level 88. And they like an 88, 87, 86. I loved my team in this game. I love that you could get your own villa. Your own villa. You couldn't decorate it, which is where it fell. But I just love, there's so much to do in this game. Like, I can't remember the name of all the facilities and stuff. I think there was something similar to a Battle Frontier. I haven't played through it in a while, but because I still have my original file. But there was just so much to do. So I love this game so much. I love the fossil idea, like where you could chip away at fossils and get stuff like that, like the underground fossil area, and you can even have like your own little secret base and stuff. Like, it was basically like all the games at that point into one, and it was just such a fun game. And I loved the legendaries in this game. I loved Giratina, Dialga, Palkia. Pokemon Platinum for me at that point in time, and all time actually, is my favorite Pokemon game ever. In my squad, Dialga, my favorite, want to say one of my favorite legendaries by far, top 5. Staraptor, I actually have a shiny one now, but it wasn't the one I played with. Magmortar, Garchomp, Golem, and Infernape. Yes, I realized the Infernape looks fucking weird. I was editing it and I gave up. But yeah, so this was my squad. I love Golem. Golem is one of my favorite rock types, if not my favorite rock type. And then Garchomp, who doesn't fucking love Garchomp? So, but that's really it, guys. These are my favorite Pokemon games. This was a video I kind of intended to do, but I just didn't really get around to it. And now that I have, I hope you guys enjoyed it. In the comment section, of course, I want you to let me know what's your favorite Pokemon game. Why is it your favorite? And tell me which is your favorite team that you ever used in those games. So that's pretty much it for the video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Like, share, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Nito17, and I'll catch you guys later. I'm going to have some new content coming your way, doing a collaboration with Curse Shooter and Slow Speed Run, and I'm also starting up a podcast with Artillery and one of my Twitter followers, Ryan. So all that shit will be coming your way. I just need time to do it. Tomorrow I plan to get a lot of it done. So thank you guys very much. I really appreciate it. Nito17, I am out.